Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, James.
And good morning, everybody. Hopefully you are all having a wonderful Sunday, a wonderful weekend. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to any mother, any grandmother, any great-grandmother listening this morning. I hope and trust that you have had and are having a wonderful Sunday.
Yes, a special day.
Absolutely. Are you happy to begin, Anne?
I am, yes.
Brilliant. Where would you like to start this morning?
I'd like to start this morning about my experience at the hairdressers this week.
Okay.
Which I suppose is unusual, but it's the difference. What it points out to me is the difference between men and women.
Okay.
About how we approach anything, really. It's the approach of life itself sometimes.
Yeah.
So I get to the hairdressers, and there's three ladies in there, the hairdresser herself, and one lady's having a haircut, the other lady's sat with, just to set the scene, the other lady's sat with the foils in. All you ladies will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's got the foils and she's waiting.
Okay.
And I go in, and it's a very old-fashioned hairdresser. She's been there for 20 odd years, and it's her property.
Okay.
And you go in, and it's not like the modern ones where you go in and, hello, Mrs. So-and-so. You walk through the door and she goes, hello, Anne, are you all right? It's that sort of atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where she's very, very upbeat.
Yeah.
And she goes to all the raves and things like that. She's probably 50-ish. But goes to the raves and still...
To the dance raves?
Yeah. It's
bit
hippy-dippy, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And she goes to India and those places, and she travels, but she likes the hippie side of life.
Sounds really interesting.
It is
Full
interesting.
of personality.
She's got loads of personality.
Brilliant.
So I go in, and these three ladies with her and myself in this shop with two workmen there.
Right.
Who have got orange jackets on, workman type jackets.
Okay.
And they're working, they stood there. They weren't, at that point, they weren't doing anything.
So when you're saying workmen, you mean not hairdressing?
No, definitely not hairdressers.
Other types of workmen?
Other type.
Okay.
So they're stood there and they're saying to her, we don't know where to go through. So she said, just drill through. I don't know.
Right,
and
okay.
By this time, she's grinding her teeth. I don't know what's gone on.
Right.
But she keeps going like that.
Yeah.
And the men can see her doing it. So I sit down and I watch these men. So they drill a hole into just past the door jamb, because she was saying go through the door jamb, and they wouldn't. Health and safety it was. These men are going health and safety, and us women are sitting there.
Okay.
She's getting worked up doing people's hair.
Okay.
So then he starts. He drills a hole, goes outside. So he starts trying to push this wire through the hole. By which time another lady's come in, sat next to me, and we're all sat there on edge by this time, because she's on edge.
Right.
And we're having a haircut. We're all on edge.
Okay.
And this man's pushing this wire through. I said, what's he doing? She said, it's for fibres. So I said, I don't know what fibres are. In the end, I knew it's fibre optics, because they don't get receptions in the shops.
Broadband. I'm with you. Okay.
That's what it was, broadband.
Okay.
I always wondered why she had only a landline. So she said,
Okay.
I'll be digital and everything soon, laughing.
Right, okay.
And they're pushing this. And I said to the lady next to me, is that wire? Is it my imagination, or is that wire hitting something every time he pushes it through? So she said, no, it's hitting something.
Right.
So at which time, all of the women are on edge in this shop.
Yeah.
And he's pulling it out, straightening it again, pushing it back.
This sounds like a scene from Monty Python.
It was better than Monty Python.
Yeah.
So the other
Or
man,
Only Fools and Horses, or something like that.
So the other man goes outside with a torch.
Okay.
This is daytime.
Right.
Goes out with a torch. And he's putting this torch to the hole and trying to look through and saying, I can't see it.
Yeah.
I can't see it. And the other man's still pulling it out and straightening it.
Yeah.
By which time it's my turn having my hair cut. And she said, he's been here 3 hours. 3 hours these men have been here. I could have done the bloody job myself. This lady's saying.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, please calm down, you're cutting my hair.
Yeah.
So the man comes in and said, have you got any ladders? And she said, yes. So she leaves my hair, goes into the back to get the ladders. And I'm thinking, oh, my hair. And then she comes back, goes outside. He goes outside with the ladders.
Yeah.
Then he comes in and said, "Have you got a hammer?" So one of the other
Oh my
women
God, it
said...
really is Monty Python, isn't
one
it?
of the other women said, "She's got loads of tools." She could have done the job herself, by the way, quicker than you're doing it, this woman said.
Absolutely,
So we don't know whether to laugh or cry at all these women.
So you are mid-haircut?
I'm mid-haircut. The other lady's still got her foils in. And ladies, you will know if the foils are left in too long, you've got a problem. So the lady with the foils is still sat there.
Yeah.
And another lady's come in. And we're all watching these men trying to do this job. But what I realised was these men wouldn't take chances. They kept saying, "No, it's not health and safety." So she said, "Just drill another hole in the top. There's already a wire going through there." "No, that's not health and safety. We're not allowed to do it."
Right.
A woman would have taken the chance and just done it. But a man,
Yeah.
health and safety. We can't do it. We're told not to do it. So jobs are taking longer because of health and safety as well, aren't they? And men are getting frightened because of the jobs. They might get sacked.
Because of procedure.
And
litigation.
Yeah. So this world, in a way, isn't progressing, is it?
It's overcomplicated.
Very overcomplicated.
Too much red tape.
Yes.
Too much bureaucracy.
And then he said, "Can I go upstairs and look upstairs?" So because it's her property.
Right.
So she said yes. So one of the other ladies pops up and says, "Get no signal up there, you know. I live down the road and there's no signal upstairs in these places. You've got no chance."
Right.
So he says, "Oh, well, I can't go up there and do it then if there's no signal."
No.
So she cuts my hair and she finishes my hair.
It looks very nice, by the way.
Thank you.
So success.
Success.
Brilliant.
By chance. And then she said, she's showing me the back of my hair through a mirror. She said, "I'm sorry the mirror's dirty. I haven't even had a chance. They've been here 3.5 hours now." She said, "I haven't had a chance to even clean my mirrors." So one of the other ladies in the shop got up and said, "Where's your stuff? I'll clean all your mirrors for you." Do you know, so why I'm saying this is in a world at the moment, what we've got and what's happening within this world, isn't it lovely to have some normality that you've got women who are all helping each other and all being the same and getting irritated with these
salt
men.
of the earth.
Yeah.
That sense of normality, as you say. Keep your feet on the ground.
Yeah. And nothing in this hairdressers is clean and it's lovely, but it's homely.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? When you go in hairdressers now.
An independent hairdressers rather than a chain.
A chain, yeah.
Yeah.
Where
it's not too fashionable and bougie.
No.
It is what it is.
She has an apron on.
Yeah.
And you sit there and do you want a cup of tea? And I'll go and get you a cup of tea or a cup of coffee.
But don't we need more of that?
I think we should have that.
A sense of community, a sense of service.
Yes.
And a place for women to go in terms of hairdressers where you can talk.
Yes.
And gossip.
And get up and go and make a cup of coffee if you want.
Absolutely. A safe space to use the modern woke lingo. Absolutely. A necessary safe space. Yeah. And those two workmen were in far too long and taking far too long to drill a hole and put a wire through. Absolutely. Yeah.
But in the end, they didn't only have one woman telling them what to do. They had 5 women telling them what to do. And they still wouldn't budge.
Well, that sounds like a joke, doesn't it?
It does sound like a joke, but it wasn't. Yeah. But in a way, it made my day because it made me think more of community and what we try to do.
Old values.
Yeah, to bring people together.
Yeah.
Of different ages. None of us were the same age.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it brought me into, you know, when I was a child, it was important that we listened to the older people in the street.
Absolutely. The elders in the community.
Yeah. And
absolutely, I agree.
You don't hear that word very often now, do you? Elders.
Not really, no.
So does that mean that respect has gone away from elders?
I think we've youthened society and we've valued more and more youth. And in doing so, we have lost something as far as the influence and the wisdom of elders, of generations that have passed. because it's such a shame, all of that life experience and life skill and life knowledge, all of the success and all of the mistakes that have been made, that wisdom can be passed on. And for a healthy society and for a healthy new generation, it needs to be passed on. It absolutely needs to be passed on. And we are losing that. We've lost it. And I agree with you. It's something that is so precious and important. And I feel we've lost it. I feel that in life now, people are put out to pasture just when they're ready to give something back. And or people feel like they've run out of steam and they are tired and finished just when they're ready to take up such a revered and special role in the community. I don't feel it has to be something formal or particularly organised, although it can be. There are cultures around the world and organisations, certain faiths and churches and groups that have specific roles for elders and actually incorporate them into their organisation. And I'm sure in the best of ways and taking it in the best possible outcome, that is really beneficial. I see it mostly as something that could be organic, spontaneous, and involves everybody in any given moment. And that we could be playing the role of an elder, somebody to guide, to oversee, to protect, by chance really, just on a bus, just in an everyday situation where we could step in to offer a word of advice or stop something dangerous happening, or just oversee, just keep an eye on somebody, because it's a safeguarding position.
A natural instinct, you're saying.
I'm talking about something that is human, organic, natural, appropriate. I'm not talking about anything that isn't appropriate. So obviously using discernment and common sense for the greater good, genuinely, where we're looking out for each other. And most of the time, it doesn't require intervention. But just in those moments when somebody's either injured or upset or something dangerous is going to happen or somebody feels threatened, there is an elder, there is somebody who can step in. And it could be any of us who can be there to support, to safeguard, to take care of any youth, any child, any young person, or just any human being that may need somebody else there in that moment.
So if you saw a young child I'm talking about, on their own, you would naturally keep your eye on them.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Also, if you see an elderly person
who's...
And I think this
the
is...
vulnerable, I think that's a better way of putting it.
I think this is an important one, is that I don't think is happening now, is that seeing elderly people on their own, sometimes you have to stop and think, have they got Alzheimer's? Are they lost? Because I went down the road last week when I was going down, when I was going for before the Tatton run, I was, doing my slow jogging, and there was a gentleman there stood on his own. And he'd escaped from the hospital.
Right, okay.
But he had Alzheimer's, didn't know where he was, and he was in his pyjamas.
Right.
And it was cold.
Okay.
And you'd naturally have to stop, don't you, and say,
so this is near where you live?
This is near where I live, yes. And,
yes.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
And then somebody came running to find him.
Yeah.
And I think maybe we've lost that natural instinct.
Yeah, care.
Care that we used to have.
I think you've absolutely hit the nail on the head. It used to be, and I'm sure listening today, it's all of you. But too much in society now, it used to be, let me finish my point. It used to be the natural instinct to take care of each other. Yes. Now it seems to be either people look the other way, cross over, don't want to get involved, it's nothing to do with us, somebody else will deal with it. Or increasingly more and more people reach for their mobile phone and start filming a situation.
Oh, that's sad.
And it really, really is sad. It really is sad. When people often are hurt or at their most vulnerable or under enormous stress, and it could be that they are in a really compromising situation, people are filming them. And I don't like that.
No, I don't like it.
It is kicking somebody often when they're already down.
It's invasive.
And rather than helping somebody,
Yes.
you are capitalising on their plight or
Yes.
situation. For what? And I'm sure in most cases, if individuals thought about why have I got my phone out, most people would think about it and put it away. It seems to be a mindless,
Yes.
on-rote reaction now. Whereas it used to be, are you all right?
That's all I could say.
Can I help you in some way? Or if you see someone struggling with their shopping to the car, you say, can I give you a lift with that? Or would you like any help? Would you like me to help pack your car? Would you like me to help pack your shopping? Would you like me to carry that?
Yes.
And they may say no, but the point is that we are aware of each other and we are actively, consciously choosing to express that care. From a child's perspective, it's an old proverb, but it's true that it takes a whole village to raise a child. And we all, in essence, know what that means. We can feel it.
Yes.
And we're all aware that that is true. It's a truth. And we can all be in the role of helping to raise a child and or look after a child, safeguard a child, oversee a child. And we don't even have to do anything. It could be, like said before, a child is on their way to school. And a very young girl on the first day at school gets onto the bus, the first day of big school, and she gets onto the bus for the first time, and she's on her own because her friends aren't getting onto the bus for another couple of stops. You don't know that.
No.
And she doesn't really know what to do. And there are a group of older teenage boys on there who are being teenage boys.
Yes.
Now, they're not meaning to be threatening or intimidating, but they are to that young girl because they're like giants to her. So you can be aware of that situation and say, come and sit here, I'll stand up.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to talk to the child, or you might do. You might say, is it your first day at school? Have you got everything that you need? Are you excited?
Yes.
You look so smart. Are your friends getting on the bus? Oh, brilliant. I'll let you know when the stop's coming. Let's find some seats at the back, or whatever it might be. Or it might be that you just have an awareness of her and you're just watching it, making sure those young boys or making sure anybody else just doesn't do anything. I think we're afraid to do that now. I think people feel it's somehow bordering inappropriate behaviour. Someone might question it. It might be deemed to have ulterior motives. In the best possible sense, in the way that I'm describing it, and I'm hoping that you are all feeling it, of course it's not. It's human.
Yes.
To that parent who's at home worrying about their daughter travelling to school would be so grateful that somebody paid attention to them and made sure they were okay. And that child, which could be us when we were young, we will remember that for the rest of our lives.
Yes.
Often we're just watching situations. We don't necessarily have to step in or say anything. We can just have an awareness of it. And you're right, it could be a vulnerable adult. It could be anybody.
Yes.
It could be somebody really drunk or somebody really sick. It could be anybody who, in one way, shape, form or another, is compromised. And we're just having an awareness of it. And we care about people because they're human. We don't just laugh at them or look out of the window or put our earphones in or put our face down into our book or newspaper. We actually pay attention to each other.
Yes.
And at the very least, say hello and smile.
And talk.
And talk, yes. Do you remember those days when people got onto a bus or opened a door or went into a shop and said, hello, good morning.
Well,
How are you?
Knew everybody.
No, absolutely. Or even, I'm talking about just everyday strangers that you say, hello, have a nice day, thank you. You too, hello, nice to meet you, thank you.
Yeah,
Pleasantries,
exactly.
warmth, humanity, engagement.
Yeah.
So I'm
Nobody
banging the
had
table
cars.
Yeah.
Nobody had cars when I was young, of course, because there wasn't. People just didn't have them.
Just the horse and cart.
Not the horse, not quite that old. Well, no, that's a lie because we did have horses and carts.
Right. Well, I was pulling your leg, but there you go.
So the rag and bone man. had a
Yes, you
horse
have
and
spoken
cart.
about the rag and bone man before.
And the man who sharpened the knives used to come round on a bike, and the bike would also the grinder would be on his bike. So so it was, and all the horses used to be kept at Piccadilly Station. station.
It sounds so much more romantic than today.
I don't know, because I don't know.
It sounds,
romance. It
I
sounds
mean,
again.
in terms of life being interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So people did. They had to talk.
Yeah.
But the buses, of course, used to be every 10 minutes. So you jump on a bus.
Yeah.
But if you missed a bus,
Yeah.
you'd have to wait 10 minutes for one to go into Piccadilly, or 20 minutes for the next one for one to go into Deansgate.
Right.
Because they were every 10 minutes, but they went to different parts. One to Deansgate, one to Piccadilly. So if you knew everybody who was getting on the bus in the morning.
Yeah.
Because remember that nobody had cars.
So you would know if Vera was running late.
So Vera was running late.
And you would say to the bus driver, hold fire.
Oh, no.
Vera would be here normally. Just hold fire for a couple of minutes. Something's not right.
No, conductor. No bus driver.
My apologies.
Conductor. Because the buses were open, remember? The driver was separate.
Wow, yes, I can see it now. In my mind, I can see it.
Get on the back of the bus.
Yes.
The driver was at the front.
That's what I mean. It's so much more romantic.
And the conductor had his machine where he took your ticket.
Yes.
So it would be the conductor who said,
yes,
hold on, so-and-so's maid's
good
not here.
morning, miss.
Yeah, but when so-and-so hasn't, he'd noticed they weren't there. Give it a couple of minutes, he'd say, so-and-so, and you'd see them running.
Yeah.
And they'd wait for them to jump on the bus.
I can see it, yeah.
So you'd got to know people because you talked.
Yeah.
Or you took a book on the bus with you and you read a book.
Yeah.
Nobody had phones.
Yeah.
So it was a different era.
Yeah.
So maybe it was easier in those days to help somebody than it is now because everybody's preoccupied.
I definitely know that it makes a huge difference.
Yes.
And I am certain that you all listening know that too.
Yeah.
Particularly the handheld devices,
Yes.
they're taking our attention, and our attention going down means that we're not looking up and out. And our faces are engaged with the material we're looking at. We're not engaged facially with each other. Facial expressions are so important.
Yes.
We read each other's facial expressions, and if we're not giving facial expressions to each other, we're not sure what other people are thinking and feeling, and therefore people feel slightly uncomfortable because we're not quite sure. Whereas looking at somebody in the eyes and smiling at them, it's a way of acknowledgement, engagement, putting somebody at ease. It gives so much information, way more than we can understand in terms of words. Body language, facial expressions are the largest part of how we communicate before words are even uttered. And we are reading that, or we were, and the way life is now has taken that away. So people's attention has been taken away.
Yes.
And if we're not careful, people's relationships are going to be taken away, because if people aren't engaging, they're not going to form relationships. And if people don't form relationships, people are going to become ever more isolated. And their relationships, young people particularly, are going to be shaped around technology.
Yes.
More and more and more and more. The question is, are we happy with that? Is that a future we would like to inherit? Is that a future we would like to bring about? If the answer is yes, then continue we go. That was a very Yoda sentence. Continue we go. Forwards we go. Or if it is something that we do not like, it is something that we do not wish to choose, we'd like to change.
Yes.
We are really at the last stop on the bus now to say, hang about, we're on the wrong bus here. We need to stop and get off and get on the right one, so to speak.
So when you say expressions,
Yeah.
you know, we express by our faces.
Yeah.
There's another...
Not only by our faces,
I
but
think
being
we do,
human
yes.
and facial expressions
They
are
they
so
are
important.
Yes, but what I'm going to say now is that what bothers me is that people don't have expressions nowadays. Lots of, mind you, men as well now.
Yeah.
With the Botox and things like that people have.
Okay.
And
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
when you can't raise your eyebrows.
It's such a good point. It's so true. I know. It's such an odd thing. I'm sure most of you know, listening, it's poison. That people are literally poisoning their faces so that they are frozen still.
Yeah. But they say your life's in your face, isn't it? Your
Absolutely.
life. So, you can remember, I can remember old people in the street where I used to live, and they used to look really old.
Yeah.
But goodness me, were they characters? They were such characters.
Absolutely,
They used to sit there and, they'd be shouting at you, because obviously I lived in a terraced house. So they were sat outside on the street, and some of them would have a stick and they'd hit you with the stick as you went past or trip you up. And you just think, nowadays people would go mad, wouldn't they? They'd go mad if somebody did that to their child.
Yeah.
And yet your mother...
They would.
And yet your mother would say, because there was no such thing as supermarkets, remember?
Yeah.
You go to the corner shop, and she'd say, will you go to the corner shop? And but don't forget to call on Mrs. So-and-so's and Mr. So-and-so's on the way. And you always called on them to see if they wanted anything bringing from the shop. And they give you a penny for doing it as well, so it was worth it doing it.
Oh, it's so important, Anne. And it brings back such a warm feeling inside, and we can all relate to it. And that's what we want to bring back.
Yes, exactly.
With all of the modern technology, some of it has been useful. A lot of it really isn't necessary.
No.
But what's lost in the midst of all of it is the morality, the values, the community, the humanity. And if we lose that, who are we? And that's such an existential question, way bigger than our conversation this morning. But definitely that's something that we need to bring back. That community, that warmth, that humanity. Absolutely. And it doesn't mean that we have to go back in time, but in a sense, maybe we do in terms of our morality.
Yes.
And our community in the best possible ways, in the best of what it can mean. Obviously, there are other ways of looking at it, but we are talking about it from an ideal, from the perspective of what was working so well and what we've lost, and what we can remember and rekindle and bring back. And isn't that worth it?
Yes.
And bringing community together, bringing generations together, allowing people to talk, allowing people to laugh, humour, music, food, dancing, life. That's what we need now more than ever.
But isn't that a good day? Isn't this a good day to say that, really, on Mother's Day?
I hope so.
And
yes, I agree. It is.
I'd like everybody to just remember their own mothers.
Yeah.
And, sometimes our mothers, have done things that we don't like. I've done things that probably my daughters don't like.
Yeah.
Because as we're growing up, we don't know the circumstances of our families or what our parents are going through, do we?
No.
And I think all mothers deserve, it's only because it's Mother's Day I'm saying all mothers, they all deserve for the children to look at them and know that they have brought them up and they wouldn't be here except for that mother.
Yeah.
It's not a case of like or dislike, is it?
No.
It's honouring.
Yeah. I would also add to that the role of the mother.
Yes.
It could be an older sister, it could be an auntie, it could be a neighbour, it could be a friend, it could be anybody that we've looked up to that has been there for us. And we remember those women in our lives. Maybe, hopefully, they are still a part of our lives who provide that advice, that comfort, those stern words, pulling us up when we are in the wrong, being there for us. So it isn't always only our biological mothers.
No.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
And we could be that to somebody else.
Yes.
I know, obviously, the role of a father or a male role model in that context.
Well, it's only because it's Mother's Day we're talking about it in this way. Yes.
And I think it's right that it is acknowledged. And it's so important. It's so important. And gratitude and a real sense of warmth. I think we can bring that back today. And I hope everybody feels it. We all have people in our lives that we can be grateful for.
Yes.
And I feel the more we give attention to that, the better. At least this morning, today can be. So happy Mother's Day,
Yes.
everybody.
Everybody.
And to all of the mothers, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, aunties, big sisters,
Yes.
best friends out there, thank you for everything you do for your families and for everybody else.
For caring.
For caring, absolutely. I couldn't say it better, Anne, absolutely. And we do care, don't we? As I know all of you do, listening as
Yes.
well. And that's what the world needs. Now more than ever, care. Care.
All the children of the world
Yes, absolutely. And
deserve a mother.
yeah, well, they deserve to be cared for.
They do care,
And we
yes.
care about them.
Yeah.
So let's send that care out to everybody across this world in the spirit of all mothers and all
Yes.
fathers and everybody.
Yes.
Why not? Let's absolutely open it up. Well, there you go.
Another Sunday gone.
Another Sunday. Have a lovely rest of your weekend. Happy Mother's Day. And have a wonderful week, everybody. And as always, we look forward to being with you, to speaking with you again next Sunday morning.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.